Welcome back to Buzzworthy Businesses on Daily News Network. I'm your host, Mike White, and on Buzzworthy Businesses, we're meeting with experts in the industry, talking about the tips, tricks, and trends going on. Joining me today, fresh from Atlanta about a year and a half ago, Dan Mayville. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much.
Nice
Thanks
to
for
see
having
you.
me. Nice to meet
So
you.
it's nice having transplants. I'm a transplant from Illinois about 25 years ago, and decided it's nice to go back, just don't look back.
I love it.
So, Top Built Teams, tell me about yourself and how you got involved in your coaching business.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks. I've been a human capital consultant for a very long time. And about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years ago, decided that I was interested in kind of making that pivot, starting my own business, starting to be my own boss, but really focusing on the small business market. How do I help small businesses grow and scale their business, put the right people in the right seats on the right bus, that kind of thing. And really I've just been focusing on how do I help the small business entrepreneur be successful.
Have you heard the statement, the cobbler's son has no shoes?
Absolutely.
So from consulting with so many businesses and helping out, and then starting your own consulting business, how does that relate to your world?
It's a fascinating dichotomy. I actually, a lot of times I'm focused on small businesses that have employees and are looking to grow and add. But then every now and then I meet a solopreneur. And so, I'm trying to help a business owner identify what the right attributes are for the roles they need. And then when I meet the solopreneur, of which I am one, I say that this is how you know yourself. If you have a one-person bus, how do you know that you're the right person to be your only employee?
And are you on the right seat on that bus? And if no one's driving the bus, you're sitting in the back.
Absolutely, you're in deep trouble. But and for that is like in a solopreneur setup, how do you lean into your strengths, and then how do you develop the behaviors to overcome your deficiencies? Because if you're an introvert, you've got to find a way to network and grow your business. And so, it's just how do we kind of manage those things to make you successful?
Then we buy our time back by hiring our team. But what happens if the team isn't doing what is needed to grow the business? How do you help with that?
Yeah, absolutely. And so it's kind of 3 steps. The one is we help a business owner really get reflective on the behaviors that they need in the role. That they're going to write the job description and explain what the job is. But then we're going to help them to really be mindful of what are the behaviors, how does somebody need to work, and what their work style needs to be. That's one step. Step 2 is when we consider people to put into those roles, how do we really assess their work-related traits to make sure that they match that profile? So that's kind of the Match.com part of the equation. But where it really comes full circle is that we're able to monitor their work behaviors every 6 months or annually, to make sure that when I hire Mike to do this job for me, that Mike isn't modifying his behaviors because he thinks he's supposed to operate differently. And that's how we manage performance ongoing. So we can help keep people connected to your purpose.
Do you create different programs for different age groups? So for instance, if someone's under the age of 30 and over the age of 30, is how you advise to manage them differently?
No. Our research says that, who you are intrinsically is kind of ingrained in you by the time you're 12, 13 years old. That's who you are. You will develop work-related behaviors and have some workarounds that you'll kind of introduce into the mix. But it's really more about making sure people are in positions that allow them to thrive and let them work the way that they're kind of natively designed and focused on work.
Did you run DISC assessments then on teams?
It is similar to a DISC assessment. It's a culture index assessment that we use. And it allows us to look at who you are and then how you are behaving in your role. And we just kind of monitor that and make sure that we're checking in with you and managing. Those 2 profiles should always look the same.
And so, work ethic. Is it better now or worse now than it was 10 years ago?
That is a loaded question. From a science perspective, we don't measure
Why are you
grit.
blushing?
Well, I love the question, but we don't measure grit. We don't measure work ambition. But I will say that for me personally, because I've now made this pivot to the small business, that there is, the starvation factor, the hungry factor is much more dialed in for an entrepreneur who starts his business with 10 grand, that he's got to grind, she's got to grind. And so I've been re-energized by the fact that people are at the entrepreneur level, they are really working hard.
Employees working together as a unit from an office or remote, which is more efficient, have you seen?
It depends on the role and what the focus of the business is, right? You can expand your reach if everybody doesn't have to sit in a central office, right? So if you have command and control and a way to monitor performance, then allowing your reach to expand would always be a better way to go.
Excellent. So finish this sentence. In 5 years, top built teams will.
Wow.
Wow
you.
Yeah.
Wow,
you.
I think we'll be well entrenched and a brand recognized in Northeast Florida for an organization that's helped a lot of small businesses grow and achieve their growth goals, their dreams for being in small business.
Excellent.
That's what I aspire to.
Well, I appreciate you coming on the program today. Always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. To find out more about top built teams, visit us at dailynewsnetwork.com.